check out BigBadToyStore.com for this and other great toys.
Hey, do you want to review this guy?
I don't think so. He's all yours, buddy.
Hey, what's up, YouTube land? EmGo here, the freaking geek himself, and the time is finally upon us. We've reviewed all 5 members of the URANOS team, and now the time has come to review the big guy himself, URANOS. There he is, and he's tall, so I have to get my little tripod extension, which is actually just a box that I'm sitting my tripod on. But here he is. Here is URANOS in all his glory, and he's big, and he's really fiddly, and I'm going to get into all that in just a second if I can get him to stand right, which I can't, which is one problem I have with him. He always wants to stand kind of off to a side. Can't see what I'm doing. Here we go. But yeah, here is URANOS all combined. And again, if you're going in on these guys, buy the repro labels, because it really helps, especially with the chest plate. It really helps to bring that chest plate to life, because it was really plain before, and that really just makes it pop, which is awesome. But yes, here is URANOS, aka Superion, or not Superion. And yeah, he looks cool. He has problems, but he does look cool, I will say. So let's just get in close here on the head sculpt. The head sculpt has actually grown on me. I've learned to live with it. I actually think it looks pretty good now. But yeah, he's just a big, massive, massive thing. And that's all 5 of the not aerial bots all combined and ready to go with the big rifle there. He does look cool. Like I said, he has problems, but he looks cool. Problem number 1, his hips. Number 1, his hips are not as strong as they should be and as they need to be. And number 2, it's really hard to get him to stand straight, because the way the ratchets work, he either stands really wide-legged or not, because you can't even put his legs all the way together because his hips are not far apart enough, and his shins are so bulked out he actually can't put his legs together. So you kind of have to cheat the ratchet joint and get it in a midway point like that, and then you can finally have him standing straight. So that's one issue, is it is a bit of a chore to get him just to stand straight without those hip joints kind of doing what they want. So that's qualm number 1. Qualm number 2 is the gun. For some reason, it only fits in his left hand. When you try to plug it into his right hand, it might just be mine. You know, your mileage may vary, but when I tried to plug the gun in to his right hand, it just would not. It wouldn't plug in all the way. It just, for some reason, that connector. I'll pop it out so I can show you. Oops. And look what just popped off of his leg. Oh, I'm going to have to glue these things on. They're such a pain in the butt. It's another thing. Little stupid parts that like to just pop off for no reason. But, yeah, as you can see, you know, each side of this handle has a peg. And there are ports on the inside of his fists. Now, when you try to plug it in to his right hand, it will not go in all the way. You can see there's kind of a gap there. Like it seems like there's a little too much plastic there, and it will not let that piece sit as far in as it should. So therefore, the gun just pops right out. So, not that it's the biggest deal in the world, but my Superion is going to be a lefty apparently. You can see here, on this hand, plugs in perfectly fine, goes in all the way. You can plug the gun in, and there you go. So, yeah. My Superion is a lefty. He's a southpaw. which is fine. I'm all right with that. I mean, it's not the end of the world, but it is a little annoying. And again, you see the hip joints just kind of went and did what they wanted to. Now I have to sit here and try to get them. I have to cheat the ratchet joint now. There we go. I cheated it! I cheated the ratchet joint! But yeah, there he is. He's big. He's impressive looking, but he is full of fiddle factor. And again, you can see. Oh, yeah. You can see what I'm talking about here. He has a lot of fiddle factor to him. A lot of fiddle factor. But we'll get down here to articulation for the whole combined URANOS here. So articulation-wise, his head is on a pretty good ball joint. You can do a full 360. You can look up. You can look down a little bit. The shoulders do have full rotation on a nice ratchet joint. They can go up at this joint right here, which will end up unplugging this piece, which sucks. It's another little qualm there. Like this little piece here on the side doesn't plug in. That's securely, but there's a joint right there, and then there is the proper ratcheting piece right there, which allows outward movement. You got your elbow joint, as well as a swivel. I'm going to show it off on this hand since the other one's holding the rifle. You do have a swivel here on the wrist. You got your ball joint there with the thumb, as well as this joint on the thumb. Each finger has 2 joints. You do get a waist swivel. Legs can go forward. They can go back and go in and out. You do get some rotation here. Knees are on a nice clickety-clackety knee joints. So you have that. Then the feet can rotate. They do have a nice heavy ratchet joint right there for the ankle tilt. And you can move the toe up and down, as well as the heel. You can move it up and down. So he is posable, but some things kind of end up knocking other things out of whack, which is a bit disappointing. Now another qualm I have is the chest plate, because the chest plate, if you mess with it, it just comes undone, and then you have to readjust it. Nothing really tabs in solidly here. It's just there. So that's another little qualm. I wish there had just been some tabs somewhere to just hold all that in place. That just would have been nice. And of course I have to fiddle with his hips again. I have to cheat the ratchets again. Cheat the ratchets. Say that 10 times fast. Cheat the ratchets, cheat the ratchets, cheat the ratchets. There we go. There we go. Stupid piece always pops off. Stupid things on the tips of Falcon's wings. Plug that back on there. There we go. Now for comparison, here he is with TFC Toys. First foray into combiners. There he is with Hercules. As you can see, he does stand quite a bit taller than Hercules. I mean, he's a big boy. Get back here so you can get the full effect there. Yeah. 2 good-looking combiners. One a bit flawed. This one not so much. But yeah, that's how they look together. Get Hercules out of the way. And here he is with my very floppy little G1 Superion. Oh, look at that preciousness. So precious. Oh. There he is with G1 Superion. So you can get that effect going on there. But yeah, I really don't know what to think about this guy. I mean, gonna have to cheat the ratchets here. There we go. I really don't know what to say about this guy. I mean, I like the way he looks. He looks cool, but he is very flawed. I mean, he is just extremely fiddly, and it just, that bugs me. To me, it seems like TFC Toys, they were riding on the high of Hercules. Like everybody bought Hercules and everybody loved them. And I think TFC Toys was like, all right, we're on to something. Let's go. Let's do another one. Let's put out another combiner right now. Let's go. Let's do it. And it seems like they didn't put as much development time into this guy as they should have, because he's got problems, and there are some things that they could have refined a little bit. Pretty much all the individual pieces have their fiddle factor. I think Slingshot, like I've said a million times before, Slingshot I think is the most solid figure that they've made out of the 5. The rest of them were just really, really have a lot more fiddle to them than they need to have, and didn't feel as solid as they needed to feel. The combined mode looks cool. Don't get me wrong. He looks awesome. I mean, he's big. He's imposing. He looks like he's going to tear some stuff up. I mean, he looks awesome. But, structurally, he's not solid. He's not dead solid as Hercules. Hercules is pretty much dead solid. Now, I mean, Hercules is far from flawless, but, even though Hercules, at one point, they even had to send out replacement parts for things that were cracking, and one of them had like bad hip joints. I mean, they had to send out replacement parts, but all in all, though, I feel like Hercules is way more solid than URANOS is. Is he still worth getting? I would still say he's still worth getting, because he does look cool once you get them all together. And like I said, if you get the repro label sets for him, it makes it look way better. He looks awesome standing on the shelf, especially next to Hercules. I mean, it's two really nice big combiners that look awesome on the shelf. So I would still say he's worth getting, but just know, this guy is fiddly. This guy is he's gonna do things that bug you. I'm just gonna put that out there right now. This guy is gonna do things that bug you when you're trying to get them all together. But I still think he looks cool, and I do still think he's worth getting, despite the fiddle factor to him. But at the end of the day, if this look suits you, I mean, a lot of people just really didn't like the look of him. A lot of people were saying that, the proportions are kind of off and whatnot. To me, I still think he looks cool. If this is something that suits your palate, if this is something that you think is going to look really good on your shelf, especially if you already have Hercules, then I would say he's definitely worth getting. But, like I said, he does have his problems, but he does look really cool, though. He does look really cool despite them all. But like I said, I think he needed a little bit more development time just to make him just a little more solid. Because it seems like they knocked it out of the park with Hercules, and with them, I think they were just trying to catch lightning in a bottle again, and they were kind of rushing with it. So I don't know. But like I said, I do still like him despite the fiddle factor. I still think he's worth getting. So I think that's pretty much all I can say about this guy. So don't forget to check out EmGames, check out Lori Plan, follow me on Twitter, all of that good stuff down in the description below. And I think that's pretty much all there is to say. So there is the TFC Toys URANOS. And this is EmGo's saying, remember, you don't stop playing because you grow old. You grow old because you stop playing. Be geek, be proud, palm in your face.
Sup?
How's it going?
Yeah, listen, I just wanted to apologize for those couple of times where I took your parts.
No, it's okay.
No, it's not okay. Listen, sometimes I have a little bit too much energon and I black out, and when that happens, I have no control whatsoever, and I don't realize what I've done until the next morning, and it's really embarrassing, and I just want to say that I'm sorry. I mean, my sole purpose in life is to rip your spark out through your mouth, but I still want to be a gentleman about it, so I just want to say I'm sorry.
Oh, well, it's all right. Don't worry about it. It happens to the best of us. But if I can make one suggestion.
Yeah, sure, what?
You might want to get that checked out.
Get what checked out? Ah! Seriously, this isn't funny anymore.